Over the past 8 years, I've witnessed the whole cycle of life-changing injury.
Prince Harry was set to attend one of the most important events of his year, an appearance that could have changed everything for his public image and his relationship with the royal family. But when the day came, he was nowhere to be found. What makes this even more troubling is that sources close to Buckingham Palace are reportedly in panic mode, with senior royals asking the same question everyone else is asking. What could have caused Harry to disappear at such a crucial moment? And what does his sudden absence reveal about the deeper struggles he's facing? The truth behind this mysterious no-show might be more serious than anyone imagined. A royal duty that turned into a mystery. The Invictus Games Foundation had planned what they called a cornerstone event for wounded veterans. This was Harry's project that had defined his post-royal identity and given him purpose after stepping back from official duties. For months, the foundation had been promoting this gathering as a major milestone in their mission to support injured service members. Harry was supposed to be the main speaker, the face of the entire event. His personal story, his military background, and his genuine connection to the veteran community made him irreplaceable for this particular gathering. Foundation had built their entire marketing campaign around his presence, but when the day arrived, Harry was nowhere to be seen. At first, organizers thought there might have been a simple scheduling mix-up. Maybe his flight was delayed, or perhaps there was confusion about timing. They waited, made excuses to the audience, and tried to reach his representatives. But as hours passed, it became clear that this wasn't a simple mistake or travel issue. The audience of veterans, many of whom had traveled long distances specifically to hear Harry speak, sat in confusion. These were people who had looked up to him, who saw him as someone who truly understood their struggles. His absence felt like more than just a missed appointment. It felt personal. Behind the scenes, Foundation staff scrambled to fill the gap. They rearranged the entire program, brought in substitute speakers, and tried to maintain the energy of the event. But everyone could feel the elephant in the room. Where was Prince Harry? And why hadn't anyone heard from him? Within hours of Harry's absence, something unprecedented happened. Multiple sources within Buckingham Palace began reaching out to trusted contacts in the media, not to provide official statements, but to express genuine concern.
Harry and Meghan have reportedly cut household staff to try and save money.
This wasn't the usual royal protocol of measured responses and carefully worded press releases. Palace insiders described a sense of panic among senior royals. King Charles, despite the ongoing tension with his younger son, reportedly asked his private secretary to make discreet inquiries about Harry's whereabouts and well-being. Even more telling was the response from Prince William's office. Despite years of strained relations between the brothers, William's team quietly reached out to contacts in California, trying to get information about Harry's condition. The fact that William set aside their personal conflicts to check on his brother speaks volumes about how serious the situation appeared to be. What made palace officials especially concerned was the complete silence from Harry's team. Usually, when a royal or former royal needs to cancel an engagement, there's immediate communication. Health issues, family emergencies, scheduling conflicts, there's always some explanation provided to save face and maintain relationships. This time, there was nothing. No statement from his representatives, no explanation to the foundation, and no communication with family members. It was as if Harry had simply vanished from his own life. The silence from California tells a story that no official statement ever could. The California connection and growing isolation. To understand why Harry's absence sent such shockwaves through the royal establishment, you have to look at what's been happening in his life over the past several months. Those close to the situation describe a man who has become increasingly isolated, even from the people who are supposed to be closest to him. Friends who used to speak with Harry regularly report that he's become harder to reach. Phone calls go unanswered for days. Text messages get short responses or no response at all. Even his professional commitments, which used to be sacred to him, have become unpredictable. The pressure of maintaining his public image while dealing with personal struggles has created what one source described as a perfect storm of stress and isolation. Harry built his post-royal identity around being the prince who escaped, who found freedom and happiness in California. But the reality of that life has proven far more complicated than the fairy tale narrative. His relationship with Meghan, while still intact, has faced enormous pressure from financial stress, media scrutiny, and the challenge of rebuilding their lives from scratch. They've had to navigate everything from career decisions to parenting responsibilities while living under a microscope that never stops watching. The couple's attempts to establish themselves as independent content creators and public speakers have met with mixed results. Some projects have succeeded, others have fallen flat, and the constant uncertainty about their financial future has added another layer of stress to their already complicated lives. For Harry specifically, the transition from being a working royal with a clear structure and purpose to being responsible for creating his own path has been more difficult than he anticipated. The military discipline that once guided his life has been replaced by the chaos of entrepreneurship and celebrity management.
Dedicates his life to supporting the causes, charities, and military communities that are so important to me.
Recent reports from people close to the Sussex household paint a picture of a man wrestling with profound regret. Harry has allegedly expressed doubts about the decisions that led him to California, wondering if the price of his freedom has been too high. The isolation from his family weighs on him more heavily than he expected. Despite all the public drama and legal battles, Harry reportedly misses the sense of belonging that came with being part of the royal family. The structure, the shared purpose, even the constraints he once chafed against, all of it provided a foundation that he now realizes he took for granted. His relationship with his father and brother, while damaged, represents connections to his identity that can't be replaced by new friendships or professional relationships. The shared experiences, the family history, and the understanding that comes from growing up in the same unique circumstances. These are things that Harry is discovering can't be recreated or substituted. The financial pressure of maintaining their California lifestyle has also become a source of constant stress. While Harry and Meghan have secured various deals and contracts, the reality of generating enough income to support the security needs, staff, and public commitments has proven more challenging than anticipated. Harry has reportedly expressed frustration with having to constantly perform, to be on for cameras and audiences in ways that feel different from his royal duties. As a working royal, his appearances served a clear purpose within an established system. Now every appearance is about building his personal brand and generating income, which creates a different kind of pressure. The weight of these realizations has reportedly led to periods of deep depression and anxiety. Harry has been open about his mental health struggles in the past, but sources suggest that his current challenges are more severe than what he's previously discussed publicly. This internal struggle explains why those closest to him have been watching for warning signs. The warning signs that everyone missed. Looking back, Harry's sudden absence wasn't completely out of nowhere. There had been subtle signs that those around him were too busy or too distant to notice. His energy during recent public appearances seemed forced, and his engagement with people causes more mechanical than heartfelt. Close friends report that Harry had been increasingly unreliable in personal relationships. Plans would be made and then canceled at the last minute. Conversations that used to flow naturally became stilted and uncomfortable. He seemed to be going through the motions of his life rather than actively participating in it. His sleep patterns had become erratic, with long stretches of insomnia followed by days where he struggled to get out of bed. His appetite changed, his exercise routine became inconsistent, and his interest in activities he once enjoyed began to fade. The people around Harry had noticed these changes but perhaps didn't recognize them as signs of a deeper crisis. In the world of high-profile public figures, mood swings and schedule changes are often dismissed as normal stress, rather than warning signs of something more serious. Meghan, dealing with her own pressures and challenges, may have been too overwhelmed with their shared responsibilities to fully grasp the depth of Harry's struggles, the demands of their public life, their business ventures, and their young family would challenge any couple, even without the added pressure of constant media attention. The tragedy is that Harry's support system, while extensive on paper, may not have been equipped to recognize or respond to the specific type of crisis he was experiencing. The people around him were focused on managing his career, his public image, and his schedule.
Really relieved and happy to be sitting here talking to you with my wife by my side.
Few were positioned to monitor his emotional and psychological well-being with the attention it required. Harry's sudden absence from such an important event sent shockwaves through multiple communities, but the impact on the royal family was particularly profound. For King Charles, this situation represents every parent's worst nightmare. Charles has reportedly been torn between his role as king, which requires him to maintain certain boundaries and protocols, and his instincts as a father, which drive him to reach out and offer support. The public nature of their relationship breakdown makes private gestures of care nearly impossible without generating intense media speculation. Prince William faces his own complex emotions about the situation. Years of hurt feelings, public disagreements, and damaged trust can't be easily set aside, even when genuine concern for a family member is involved. William has reportedly struggled with wanting to help, while also protecting his own family from the chaos that seems to follow Harry's life. The broader royal institution has had to grapple with questions about their responsibility for Harry's well-being. While he chose to step back from official duties, he remains a member of the family and a reflection of the monarchy's values. His struggles, whether private or public, inevitably affect the institution's reputation and effectiveness. Palace staff members who worked with Harry for years have expressed private concern about his situation. Many of these individuals developed genuine affection for him during his time as a working royal, and they're troubled by reports of his current struggles. However, their ability to offer support is limited by protocol and the reality that Harry is no longer part of their official responsibilities. The situation has also created tension within the broader network of royal patronages and charitable organizations. Many of these groups have maintained relationships with Harry despite his departure from official duties, but his increasing unreliability has forced them to make difficult decisions about their associations with him. The most troubling aspect of this crisis is how it reflects deeper problems that go beyond one person's struggles. The broader questions about royal life and mental health. Harry's situation raises uncomfortable questions about the support systems available to members of the royal family, both during their active service and after they step away. The unique pressures of royal life create specific mental health challenges that require specialized understanding and support. The royal family's traditional approach to personal problems has always emphasized privacy, dignity, and pushing through difficulties without public display. While this approach has helped maintain the institution's stability over centuries, it may not be well suited to addressing modern mental health crises. Harry's openness about his struggles with therapy, trauma, and depression marked a significant departure from royal tradition. His willingness to discuss these issues publicly was groundbreaking and helped reduce stigma around mental health treatment. However, his current situation suggests that awareness and public discussion aren't enough to prevent serious mental health crises. The isolation that Harry is reportedly experiencing highlights how difficult it can be for public figures to maintain genuine relationships and authentic support systems. The financial pressures that Harry and Meghan face also illuminate broader questions about how former royals are expected to support themselves. While they have opportunities that most people don't, they also have security requirements, public expectations, and lifestyle obligations that make their financial situation more complex than it might appear from the outside.
Harry and Meghan have got rid of more staff, with one source claiming they got through employees as...
Despite the severity of Harry's current situation, there are reasons for hope and potential paths forward. The first step would likely involve Harry acknowledging the depth of his struggles and accepting that he needs professional help. This can be one of the most difficult aspects of mental health treatment, especially for someone who has been public about his journey and may feel pressure to appear strong and in control. Professional treatment for someone in Harry's position would need to address not just his immediate mental health symptoms, but also the unique stressors and challenges that come with his public profile. This might involve specialized therapy approaches that help him develop coping strategies for media scrutiny, financial pressure, and family conflict. Family reconciliation, while not essential for Harry's mental health recovery, could provide an important source of support and stability. However, this would require willingness from all parties to set aside past grievances and focus on healing relationships rather than assigning blame or rehashing old conflicts. The royal family's response to Harry's crisis could also serve as an opportunity to modernize their approach to mental health support. Developing better systems for supporting family members who struggle with the unique pressures of royal life could benefit not just Harry, but future generations of royals as well. Public support and understanding from media outlets and royal watchers could also play a crucial role in Harry's recovery. Creating space for him to address his mental health without constant speculation and judgment would allow him to focus on healing rather than managing public perception. On Harry's side, this crisis represents both a low point and an opportunity for genuine transformation. If he's able to get the help he needs and address the underlying issues that led to this breakdown, he might emerge with a clearer sense of purpose and a more sustainable approach to his public and private life. For the royal family, Harry's situation presents both a challenge and an opportunity. How they respond will influence not just Harry's recovery, but public perception of the monarchy's values and priorities. Prince Harry's mysterious absence from such a crucial event reveals a deeper crisis that goes far beyond a missed appointment. The palace's worried response tells us that this is a genuine emergency that requires compassion and immediate attention. What do you think about the way this situation has been handled, and how do you believe Harry can find his way back from this dark place? Share your thoughts in the comments below.